are pretty steep. Just like the F-bar, the penalties are steep for not having done this. But unlike the F-bar, there's no amnesty program for this yet.
Any questions on FATCA?
Yes, Gary?
See Jeff run.
So, Gary, if we have a Cayman healthcare captive, there's quite a few of them that are operating as a CFC at the hospital, and are we going to try and argue that's not insurance maybe to get around this, or is that still not matter? That's still a foreign account. So if we
it's still a foreign. It would still be a foreign for which piece? The 8938 or the FATCA withholding issue?
The FATCA withholding. I'm thinking if the hospital was sending money to Cayman and it's been a CFC to this point, is it in theory supposed to withhold?
But it was it's treated as an insurance company, so it's a non-FFE because it doesn't have a cash surrender value type policy.
Well, some of those have deliberately not been insurance companies, so they weren't paying FET. So I'm thinking of that situation where you've got the sort of hospital captives that have deliberately not met the insurance test, so they weren't paying FET. But so I guess it's a Cayman company so it was a CFC, they were getting the deemed distribution right to a not-for-profit. Are they kind of in trouble with withhold?
That's a good. I don't know the answer to that question. That's an excellent question. But
would they be also be an FFI?
Well, the only way they'd be an FFI is they have some kind of cash surrender value product or a depository institution. They could, under the depository institution issue, become FFIs. Yes.
Oops.
Gary.
Yeah.
So, who should the captive owner look to determine the 8938 filing requirements, how many they're supposed to file, etc.? Do they look to their personal tax preparer, or should they be looking at the company that prepares the tax?
In your case, they need to be looking at the personal and not me.
Or should they be looking at the accountant who prepares the tax returns for the captive?
No, it really should be your personal because it's all part of your personal 1040 filing and not part of the captive filing that's being done.
Thanks.
Yep.
Gary, we have an investment firm offshore and onshore SEC regulated. We have some clients that are 953D electors that have historically utilized the offshore investment, in particular an investment vehicle, which is use shares. Have you had this situation arise yet, or how would you, we've stayed out of it because we're not tax advisors,
right,
but how would you consult an entity that could then choose a 953D elector, say in Bermuda? Would it be easier for them to utilize a U.S. investment manager or a U.S. investment vehicle versus the offshore vehicle?
Currently, right now, the rules only apply. The 8938 rules are only applying to individuals. They have not issued the regulations for business entities. So you've got a 953D, which would be a business entity that would be the one putting money into the investment form. But obviously, if they're using a U.S. investment house, they're going to be better off because they're not going to have the filing requirement, period, even when the new regulations come out.
Just one question there, Gary. But first of all, to respond to the question that you raised up there, Gary, we've been told that whether it's a non-profit parent company that will be a requirement. So they're going to have to file that.